Illmind mix it.
What's up, guys? Brooklyn, by the docks. Just want to holler at you guys and do a little Q&A. So let's rock out. Tips on arrangement. I like that question. So when I make beats, I always try to envision an artist on it and what kind of artist it would be, either a singer or a rapper or both. So I'll kind of just like create a track and keep in mind what kind of track I want to make. And then I'll just arrange it in a way that makes sense to what I think the song should sound like. So usually I'll do like an 8-bar intro of some sort, and then I'll do like a 16-bar verse, 8-bar hook, 16-bar verse, 8-bar hook, and then the third verse I'll usually do like an 8-bar bridge, maybe a part with just the music and no drums, or maybe just a drum solo. And then after that I'll do another hook, but I'll do the hook for 16 bars, and then I'll be done. I don't really like following like a specific format, but I'll start with that, and then I'll just go from there. So, you know, I would just trust your instinct. You know, when you're arranging music, I'm a great fan. I'm a big fan of making sure something happens every 4 bars. You know, you want to keep the excitement. You want to keep the listener engaged, and if the beat is too repetitive, then you might lose people. So I'm a huge fan of creating some kind of change up every 4 bars, and not even anything too drastic, just something for the listener to appreciate. How do you contact artists as a producer who doesn't have any placements or has worked with anyone? Don't overthink it, man. Like, you just gotta shoot your shot. You know, it's the same. You can compare that to how do you find a girlfriend. You just have to start conversation, and don't be weird and don't be awkward, and be yourself. You know, I think the best piece of advice I can give you is just be yourself. Don't be too desperate, don't be too weird. If you get rejected or if you don't get a reply, like, it's not a huge deal. You know, like, don't feel like you fucked up if you try to hit someone up and they don't hit you back, you know? I mean, still to this day, like, I hit people up and I don't get a reply back sometimes, and I'm okay with that, you know? So shoot your shot, go slide into the DMs, shoot a DM on Twitter, tweet someone. Don't worry about rejection. You just have to go for it. At what point did you start trusting the vibes and not overthinking stuff? And how long did it take you to get to that point? I love that question. I don't want to sound like I'm cocky or anything, but like I've kind of like trusted the vibes from the very beginning. The thing that really got me motivated to make beats was listening to hip hop, specifically Jay Dilla, Pete Rock, fucking Manny Fresh. When I started making music, I just mimicked the stuff that I liked, and I just always felt comfortable with it. You know, there's definitely times when I made music and I didn't like the music I was making. I mean, like anyone else, not everything I made was flawless, but I tried stuff, and I always just made music that I liked. So from the beginning, I just always felt like I was always in a groove, if that makes sense, you know? When I really started feeling confident in my beats was probably 2 or 3 years in, when I started showing more people my music. I started getting more compliments, I started getting more feedback, I started getting more validation on my music. More rappers wanted to rap over my beats, so that definitely was a confidence booster. So, you know, I highly recommend you guys play your music for as many people as possible so that you can feel more confident in your music. Man, that shit helped me so much. You know, do the beat battles, do the showcases, join Beat Thread. upload your music online and look at all the comments and see what people are saying. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to put your music out there and see how people react, and that way you can feel better about your music, you can feel more confident, and the more confident you feel, the better music you'll make, and the more confident you'll be in the studio when you're actually making music. If I didn't show anyone my music, like, I don't think I'd be here, honestly, guys. Like, I wouldn't have gotten this far if I didn't feel good about my music. So you don't want to be one of those people that's just like stuck in the studio making a million beats and not showing anyone, because then you kind of get caught up in your own world. You get like caught in this matrix of thinking that your stuff is amazing or thinking that your stuff is terrible. You need a second opinion. You need people to give you that validation. So that's super underrated concept, but like, play your stuff for people, man. That's so fucking important. All right, let me scroll through some of more of these questions here. How did it feel when the placements started piling up? It feels great, man. Like, anytime I get a placement, I feel like a kid in a candy store. I feel like I'm born again, you know what I mean? I feel like I've crossed through another milestone anytime I get a placement. Because it's hard work, man. It takes a long time to go from A to Z. If you're consistent enough and you're confident enough in yourself, you'll get there, man. Trust me. Like, and it's different for everybody. For some people, it takes years and years and years to get that first placement. For other people, it takes a couple months, you know what I mean, to catch one. So you just gotta paint your own picture, go at your own pace, never give up, and just be confident in yourself and know that the placements will start happening. You just really just have to believe in yourself, man. Believing in yourself is so important. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, then no one else will. Questions, shoot. How can a producer help take an artist to the next level? Work with them. I know that sounds fucking obvious, but yeah, that's the answer. Work with them as much as possible. You know, I'm a huge advocate of artist development. So find 1 or 2 or 3 artists that you really believe in and invest in them. Don't be afraid to invest your time and energy into an artist if you believe in them and think that you're wasting your time, or, oh, I hope this pans out, or what if I put 2, 3, 4 years of my time into this person and they never blow up? You can't think of it that way, man. You can't, because that's very possible. But you can't let that deter you from keeping your eye on the prize, you know what I mean? Like, it's all experience. You have to experience everything once, you know? Like, eventually you're gonna have to get in the studio and record vocals. Eventually you're gonna have to take a session in Pro Tools and mix it. Eventually you're gonna have to bounce the stems out of the beat you made, consolidate vocals, and arrange a song. You know what I mean? This is what real producers do. Eventually you're gonna have to do all those things, but when you start doing them and you do them for the first time, you're gonna suck. You know what I mean? Like, the first beat you made sucks. The first beat I made sucks. I mean, the first 100 beats I made suck. But if you never take that first leap, you'll never know, and you'll never be able to improve. So do it, and don't be afraid to fail. Do you only work with celebrities or indie artists as well? I love working with anyone that I know I could do my job to the best of my ability, and the only way I could deliver the best product as a producer is if I'm inspired by the artist. Doesn't matter if you're multi-platinum selling or a kid in your mom's basement who just started with 0 followers. Doesn't matter. If I like an artist enough to work with them and you're independent, I'm not going to charge you. If I'm inspired to work with you, then we'll give it a shot. All right, let's answer one more question here. I have a song with someone and it's coming out soon, and we haven't talked about money. Do I ask him, or should I just keep waiting to see if he's going to talk to me about money? The money conversation can get a little uncomfortable. If you're a music producer and you're working with an artist and you've been working for free and you finally want to get paid for some of this stuff, I think what it comes down to really is just communication. Like, have a conversation with them and don't be afraid to be honest. You know, figure out what you want and ask for it. You know, if you feel like it's fair to be paid for your services, have a conversation with them. It always comes down to miscommunication, so don't be afraid to communicate and be transparent. And just be fair, because at the end of the day, you both want to win together. You know, it shouldn't be one-sided. It should never be, hey, I want to get paid for my services and I don't give a fuck about you. You know what I mean? Like, you guys should have this mentality of wanting to break bread together and work together. And if that's too much to ask, then maybe you guys need to communicate more, and maybe it's just the wrong type of partnership. I'm a big advocate of working with people to grow together, as opposed to just being selfish and saying, oh, I want to get paid, when am I getting paid? No, it's about building a real relationship and chemistry with someone and then working together to come up. You know, the come up is, the level up is a lot easier when you do it with people. And when you do it with people that are on the same frequency as you, people that believe in you and you believe in them, those are the types of people you want to partner with, because it'll increase the level up rate tenfold, you know, as opposed to trying to do it on your own. So that's just the name of the game. So I appreciate you guys, man. We'll talk soon. I'm out. Good after you, though. I like talking to the people, man. You know, I thrive off of that energy. There's never enough questions. There's always more to dig into. So I'm a big fan of speaking my mind based on my own experience. You know, that's what I love doing. So shout out to all my creators out there, man.